Hi, I'm Anne Marie, and I'm with
Denise,
and we are
Grants for God.
And we're here in Howell, Michigan at Jeremy's Man Cave for a January 6er party.
and it's the 23rd of December. We're a little crazy for being here tonight, like we have nothing to do. No, but why do we do this? Grants for God. We do this for our grandkids and our kids.
So, yep, tonight we're going to be talking with all these patriotic truthers and see what their take is on what's going on in the world. So, stay tuned.
There's so much going on, isn't there? The Epstein files. How many times have you heard that name? Does anybody know how to spell it?
Right.
What else?
I don't know. I think Clinton's going to be going to prison, but...
Well, the other reports, they say he's already dead. Then we have the Rob Reiner's killing.
Tina Peters is in prison, which she should not be. That is such a travesty. And I know there's things in the works right now to get her out. So just keep praying for Tina Peters. She's a Gold Star mom. And even her own mother is, I think she's in her late 90s, and she hasn't seen her since she's been in prison. It's sickening.
She should already be out. She was granted, a pardon.
Well, we were in Dearborn a couple weeks ago, or in November, when they had that march against the Islamification of the United States of America, because we are a Christian country, no matter what the Muslims say. So everybody needs to wake up to that fact and pay attention to what's going on around you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's 5 years of waking up. We just got to keep waking up other people, and that's why we do this. And plus we're really we're grannies. Yeah. We're strong women, and we're just trying to help get the truth out. I mean,
we love Jesus. We love our country. We love our children and our grandchildren, and that is why we do what we do, to get the word out. Please share this and get involved at the local level. That's what I got to say.
Yep. Okay. So we'll be talking to some other people. Hang on. And listen, share our video. We're just trying to build this. And, if you guys need a video done somewhere too, get a hold of us.
Yes.
All right. We are here with Jeremy in the Man Cave up in Howell. And you got a little party going on here tonight. What's
the great people from Grand New Party wanted to host a Christmas party, and they decided to make it about January 6th, the Fedsurrection. And so we're have that theme incorporated. We got screens over here that have got playing a little bit of a carousel of some of the pictures from January 6th back there when, again, the Fedsurrection. So combining
exactly.
Christmas, instead of having like a party on Jan 6th after the first of the year, kind of incorporating a Christmas party with that theme, I think is a good idea.
So the Grand New Party?
The Grand New Party.
Which is?
I would have to have Shane or Amber come up and talk about that, but the Grand New Party, they are a political action pact, and what they like to do is vet candidates. So it's a play on the Grand Old Party, the Republican Party. Mm-hmm. And so with the Grand New Party, what they do is they check out all the different candidates in the various areas, and they vet them and look at their records, and then recommend to the voters who they believe is the best candidates.
Right, because we all ask opinions.
Absolutely.
And we all have one.
And because they're not directly connected, I mean, they are in the circles. Because they're not directly connected, they can give a more unbiased opinion.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, so is that they're new?
No, they've been around.
I just never heard of them.
The Grand New Party's been around for about 4 years now.
Oh, okay.
So, right after, probably got started right after the Fedsurrection there, Jan 6, and been going strong.
What do you think about J6?
I think it was a total setup. I think that we need to get some arrests going before the statute of limitation runs out, and I think that it was a play, quarterbacked by Nancy Pelosi with a whole bunch of deep state people behind the scenes that were trying to orchestrate a coup. If they thought Trump was going to act like they act and tried to stay in office, which he willingly walked out and said, we'll regroup and we'll come back in 4 years if that's what, we decide to do.
Yeah.
So to act like it wasn't, it's the only insurrection in history where there were absolutely no gun charges.
Yeah.
The jurors came out and said, well, the lack of evidence is the evidence.
Yeah, and like he would do that anyway.
Exactly.
Hello. I mean,
in Trump, in all the first 4 years of his administration, they couldn't find a single person legitimate that worked for him that would go on record and accuse him of any wrongdoing. And that tells you his integrity. They couldn't find, so they had to invent stuff. They had to invent everything. There was
one
nothing
thing after another.
Exactly. So if the guy's so bad, and I think he was really hamstrung and didn't want to use executive orders during the first term because he was always looking at the constitutionality of it and talking with his lawyers. Yeah. Now he's like, you know what? If there's a precedent set for using executive orders, I'm going to use executive orders. And so I think there's a better dynamic. He hit the ground running. And unlike the first term, when he would sign an executive order and hand it over to a subordinate and they'd run out the door and throw it away, now he signs them all on TV, holds them up, and shows everybody exactly what they are. And they can't be disobeyed at that point. Yeah. And so all we have is the obstructionist courts now. Yeah. So I think it was a coordinated effort on Jan 6 between the courts, between the Democrats, the deep state.
Oh, definitely.
All the way across the board.
I mean, when you look at all the different aspects about how things weren't there, were there, I mean, it's plain to see, even if you weren't there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and like I said, I have friends that were there, real close friends that were there. And so, I got a lot of feedback from them that were on the ground. Of course, I watched Alex Jones and a number of other people that were there in the Capitol. One of my other good friends, pacing over there, he was there.
Santa, you mean?
Yeah, Santa. So so I get, I got a lot of feedback on the ground as well as, the good alternative media.
Yeah. What do you think about Tina Peters?
I think it's an absolute travesty. I've heard a couple good theories that they could literally federalize that prison for a day and march her out without having to do any other paperwork or anything like that. I think it's beyond an absolute travesty. I mean,
you can't go against the order, the pardon that Trump did. Nobody can go against that.
Right, but we've got out of control courts, and this is one area where I think Trump needs to pull some Jacksonian
go there
measures.
Himself. Almost.
Well, he needs to pull some Jacksonian measures.
I mean, the poor woman. She's a Gold Star mom.
100%.
She's never even had a traffic ticket.
And she has health issues that she's suffering from while she's sitting there, in the Colorado State Prison. It's ridiculous. She needs to be out immediately, and they need to sue the hell out of that government. For all the wrongdoing. And I don't want the taxpayers' money paying for it. I want the actual prosecutors and judges that did it to be personally, financially held accountable or even jailed for it. I think it's ridiculous that we have these lawsuits, against the government, and it's just taxpayers. And the people who did it, the actual people who were behind it, usually face no repercussions. It's just a payout from the government, more money out of the coffers. No, hold these people, make them sell their house.
Give us our money back.
I mean, you look at Roger Stone, you look at Rudy Giuliani, you look at Mike Lindell, you look at all of these different people that have been doing all this hard work, either were involved directly in Jan 6, and they have bankrupted them. Yeah, it's all that lawfare that they use, and so.
But you know what? The truth comes back. It always comes out, and now, what's his name? The pillow guy is running for governor.
100%, yeah, and I love it. Yeah, Mike Lindell is going to be phenomenal, and
he'll probably win too.
Oh, he's showing in the polls.
You know what happens? The opposite happens. What they're trying to do to the people, then the opposite happens.
Yeah, the poll numbers are huge,
and better.
And he, knowing that MyPillow is it's an employee-owned company. Every employee has a share of that company, and so it's a vested interest.
United States company.
Yeah, and he's going to run the state of Minnesota the exact same way, where he's going to re-empower, just like President Trump is bending over backwards trying to do, is re-empower we the people to be.
Well, that's like what Trump said. I'm giving it back to the people.
100%. And that's what we got to keep doing. And that's what scared them the most on Jan 6, is that the people came there, peacefully protested, and they had to send FBI agitators into the crowd.
Oh, a lot of different ones were paid for.
100%.
I mean, it's unreal.
Yeah.
Antifa and Black Lives
Absolutely.
Matter, all of them. They're just all.
You got deep state fingerprints all over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And none of our people were like, are you serious? No, there's not one single gun charge. It's an insurrection. Not one. They couldn't come up with one legitimate gun charge, and now there's this whole debacle of the bomb, the J6 bomb, and they're saying it's this mentally incapacitated, black kid.
Yeah, well,
with,
they said those people up are pawns, and they do whatever they have to do to them to, MK Ultra them, whatever.
100%. It's another Richard Jewell, being swept up in that.
What do you think of Reiner?
Reiner.
Rob Reiner.
Oh, Rob Reiner. You got to give me the full name. I think Politically, I didn't pay much attention to Rob Reiner because when you're on the left, you're just going to spew stuff. There's not really a lot of facts
Right,
coming
which
out.
he did a lot.
But
you
as
know,
far as him dealing with a son with severe addictions and stuff
Yeah,
like that, I don't know how far back that goes in the family. I've watched a few videos on it.
yeah, but there's stuff out there now about what he's done to his kid.
Yeah,
and
and
so there's so much of that in Hollywood.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I wouldn't put it past any of them. You know, they get into it and then they're blackmailed,
Yep.
or they're just loving it.
Yeah. I think very few of them actually.
They're sheep's and wolves' clothing, or is it wolves and sheep clothing?
Wolves in sheep's clothing. Yes.
They are, because
they are.
They're the least person that you'd expect to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So, yeah. So
I
now you
think
wonder.
it's very tragic. There's been so many different people that have, you know, their spouses or their kids or some other reason they've been taken out, and I think it's
Right.
As far as Rob, I think you kind of there's a law of sowing and reaping that was instituted in the from day one of creation, and then Galatians says that God can't be mocked. Whatever you sow, you're going to reap. And
Exactly.
so
Whatever you
I
put
believe
out is what you track.
yeah, and as much as you don't want to ever insult the dead, stuff like that, I still think that there's a dynamic of pointing out, hey man, what was going on in your life that this precipitated this happened to you. Now that doesn't mean that the innocent aren't, taken out. I mean, we had Charlie Kirk taken out, but I mean, there's these it's like you wonder about people and you go, what's going on?
Because
They proved the abuse was going all along.
Well, I didn't hear that they got exonerated, but I knew that
Not exonerated, but they were
they
released.
had said that for a long time. But nobody wants to believe that. Nobody
Correct.
wants to believe about
Yeah.
the sex trafficking and what they do to kids, and
Yeah.
nobody wants to
Well, and
even
somebody
talk
played a
about it. but it's-
montage of Rob Reiner being roasted.
Yeah.
And the number of different comedians that literally were making references to him being molested and abused by his dad, by Carl Reiner.
Okay, right, because it goes down from generation to
does.
generation, that crap.
It does. Yeah.
It's the same with regular molesters. It's the same with regular molesters that have been in many of our families for years.
Yeah. And until they're stopped, until they're exposed, it's serial.
Okay, this is so cool. We ran into Cindy Holland. And if you don't know who Cindy Holland is, then you guys are living under a rock. Cindy,
Yeah.
what brought you here tonight?
I came to support my friends, and they all, well, most of them did attend the January 6th at the Capitol, and most of them did not do anything wrong whatsoever.
Yeah, I know. So you just told me something really interesting. Tell everybody what you got asked to do.
So,
tell everybody you're a delegate.
I am a Republican precinct delegate. I've been involved in politics since around about 2012, actually. I started with Catherine Engelbrecht's organization, True the Vote.
Oh, okay.
And then she started getting targeted by the Obama administration because she was making a whole lot of headway with the fraudulent elections there in Texas. And then she branched out, so they were getting pretty nervous, and they started attacking her. And
like they do everybody that says anything that's true, they got to target you, ruin you, take all your money, put you in a jail.
A lot of lawfare going around out there. So, but that was my start. And then when they started attacking her, they hit her heavy. She was essentially, they tried to bankrupt her, and they almost did, professionally and personally. And it was hard to watch. But essentially, True the Vote kind of during that time went dormant because she wasn't able to do much. So then I joined the Heritage Action for America. And what they do is they use the voice of the people to lobby Congress for conservative legislation.
And so what do you do now?
So now, since then, I was the first vice president with the Republican Women's Federation for 2 terms, and then I stepped away from that, and the national organization with Veterans for America first reached out and asked me if I would assume the position as the president for the Michigan chapter.
That's so cool, Cindy. And you're on Facebook, right?
Oh yeah.
Where else can they
Twitter.
follow you? Twitter. Are you
So Facebook, you can find me at it's C Holland on Facebook, and then on Twitter and all other platforms. Actually, I am Cindy, the number 1 Shorty.
Oh, yeah, you are short.
Yeah,
That's okay. Short people are cool.
that's what I've been told.
Are you on TikTok, on Instagram, any of those?
I am on Instagram, Cindy One Shorty again. So all other social media platforms that you can find me as Cindy One Shorty.
Okay.
Facebook is the only social media platform that I use for local politics. The rest of them I use for national
Yeah.
activism. Yes.
Yeah, so follow Cindy because Cindy knows a lot of stuff. She's been out there. She's a. Are you a mom?
I am a mother. I have 4 children, 36, 34, 28, and 19. And my 19-year-old is autistic.
Oh, are you a grandmom?
Yes, I am. I'm
Yeah,
actually
so
a
another
great-grandmother.
Another granny.
My
Look how
granddaughter
hot
just
she
had a
is.
baby.
You're what?
My granddaughter just had a baby.
What?
My granddaughter
You're
just
a
had
great grandmother?
I'm a great-grandmother.
Wow. That's so crazy.
I know. I
Wow,
can't believe it.
Cindy. Well, listen, thanks for talking with us on the video tonight. And, have a good time here at Jeremy's Man Cave. And we're going to just keep fighting. We're Grands for God, and we do this for our kids and our grandkids.
Absolutely. It's about the future generations and the future
Yes.
of our children. And if we don't stop this socialist, communist revolution that they're trying to pass over here in this country,
Yep.
like they did it in China.
Australia, look what they're doing over there.
They're doing it in Australia, the European Union,
Yeah, in
all
Europe,
of it.
yeah.
So, we got to fight it off.
Yeah, we
here.
got it. We do. We have to stand up for the truth.
And don't be afraid to say the truth.
Right. I mean, a lot of people are, but truth sets us free.
Well, when
Jesus loves the truth.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I stressed after Charlie Kirk's assassination is that the best way to honor Charlie Kirk is to be more like him. And he
Yes.
always says, stand up, tell the truth.
Yeah.
If that's what you believe in, then talk about what you believe in. If you have principles, you need to stand for those principles and don't be afraid to speak about them.
Right. Walk. Don't just talk the talk, walk the walk.
Yes, but you have to do it
humbly.
Obviously,
You have to do it-
obviously you do it in a respectful
Yes.
manner.
Humbly
Obviously,
and
but
with
humbly,
God leading you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Cindy. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
All right, so I ran into Larry here in Howell, Michigan, in the Man Cave. Larry, how are you today?
I'm wonderful, thanks. This is a great party.
It sure is. What's your take on Whitmer?
Governor Whitmer, she's terrible. She's the worst governor we ever had. Ted Nugent was exactly right about her. Worst governor ever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use the language he uses, but terrible governor. She makes Jennifer Granholm look good.
And that's bad.
That's real bad. That's real bad. Michigan has had 3 Democrat governors in my lifetime, and they were all terrible. And the attorney general's even worse. I mean, framing Republican electors and politicizing the state of Michigan to go after her political opponents. And how many times has Jocelyn Benson been ruled against in the Michigan courts? 7, 8, 9 times now? With the cheating she's done in the elections. And but what would you expect from somebody that used to be on the board for the Southern Poverty Law Center?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know she was on the board for that.
I
Yeah.
think she was the president of the board, actually, of the SPLC, which is a hate group in itself. They've been sued several times for their rhetoric, and they list nuns as a hate group. Catholic nuns, believe it or not. But welcome to the Man Cave here, where we do our podcast. This is my brain show, and hopefully some of your videos will make it to our podcast.
Yeah. Thank you. We're excited to be here, and it's definitely a cool venue, that's for sure.
Well, we pride ourselves in what we do here, and this place is a venue, and it is for rent. You can throw parties here. We have our own house band. The band is Single Barrel, and they do a lot of good music, including Stranglehold by Ted Nugent. I'm not in the band, but I play keyboards, and I make noise with guitars.
And then we still. Okay, so right now we're here with Santa. Santa, can you tell us why you're here tonight?
Santa is here to celebrate freedom for the Jan 6 Patriots. President Trump gave all the Jan 6ers a pardon, much-deserved pardon, and so we're going to have people who were here, people who either were peacefully protesting or they were brought up on charges based on, completely, nonsense, trying to throw them under the bus, accusing them of all kinds of nonsense. They're going to be here. We're going to be celebrating our freedom and, celebrating that President Trump's the president and, being thankful for all that we got.
Awesome. Thank you. Merry Christmas, Santa.
Merry Christmas.
All right. We just ran into Ryan Kelly here at Jeremy's party in Howell. Ryan, how are you?
I'm fantastic. January 6th Christmas party here on Christmas Eve 2025. Great to be here. I'm glad you ladies made it out today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. We want to get your take on January 6th. And do you think the election was stolen?
So my opinion has been very public on that over the last several years through my whole gubernatorial campaign. And what's interesting is that now we're seeing, like down in Georgia, the 315,000 ballots that they're saying didn't have proper signatures and that were fed through the machines illegally, validating what we all already knew. So absolutely the election was stolen. There was a lot of fraud. If you look at what happened here in the state of Michigan with 3 a.m. ballot drops, all of a sudden Biden takes the lead, middle of the night, super suspicious, things in Pennsylvania, Arizona, Wisconsin that bring up more questions than answers. But now that we're seeing that down in Georgia, the admitting of having fraudulent ballots to the tune of the amount that if it wouldn't have been there, Trump would have absolutely won. Yes. So, yeah, there was a lot of foul play. The election was stolen from President Trump. And the truth is coming out now. That's the interesting part. We were right.
Thank God. Yes, we were right. And Trump won, for sure. What's your take on Tina Peters right now? And what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's interesting to see that, Donald Trump pardoned Tina Peters and the pushback that we're getting from the governor of Colorado and other officials in Colorado. The question, I think, is going to be raised in court of whether or not the president has pardon power for the states. Colorado is part of the United States. It's not separate from the United States. So I think that the president does have the authority to pardon individuals for any crime that happens in the United States. But Tina Peters was prosecuted by a corrupt state prosecution team, was not allowed to share a lot of the things that would have proved her innocence, and she was doing her job. She was thrown in prison because they wanted to make an example out of her, just like they wanted to with all the J6ers. They wanted to make an example that if you question their fraud, they will come after you and put you in prison. That's how Democrats operate. That's how communists operate.
Boy, that's it. Communism. That's exactly what they're doing. Yes, yep. Anything else you'd like to say?
January 6th, because this is the January 6th Christmas party here. January 6th was, obviously it was a day with a lot of chaos. And again, just like with, now we're finding out about the ballots, there was a lot of things that were hidden about January 6th. The January 6th Select Committee, they didn't want to share a lot of the information. They wanted to delete a lot of the information. It was a total setup. And I was put in prison because I had said that. They put me in prison for 60 days. And the judge cited during my sentencing that, I was a candidate for elected office. So he started talking about me being a candidate, how I lied to my supporters about January 6th because I said it was an FBI setup. That was literally part of the reasons why he thought I needed to be incarcerated, is because I misled my supporters. Turns out
I'm a supporter. Right. I voted for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Captain Chief Sund, who was the United States Capitol Police Chief on January 6th, has been trying to speak out about the mishandling of January 6th, if you will, and all of the leading up to January 6th, including the pipe bomber. We have all of that too, which I don't think they got the right guy, but we can save that for another interview. But January 6th has a lot of questions about the people that actually set that up to, again, try to make Trump and MAGA look bad.
Right. Oh man. Well, we appreciate you taking a minute to talk with us, and Merry Christmas to you and your family, and God bless the United States. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. One more question. What's your thoughts on the Epstein files?
Yeah, the Epstein files, as we see the DOJ releasing all of these different documents now. My take on it is that it's been in the hands of corrupt individuals for so many years. To think that there's just some unredacted documents out there that's going to incriminate all of these people, I think we're naive to think that. It's been in the hands of so many people that have an interest in making sure that the truth doesn't get out about that. And here's the other thing, is that they had something on Donald Trump. The amount of years that the Biden administration and the other Democrats had that in their hands, they could have went after Trump. They trumped up all this stuff on Donald Trump. They brought fake, phony charges against him. Let me say that. If they had real evidence with the Epstein files, they would have brought that against him. But here's the thing. Everything that happened with Epstein and all his different victims, it's horrible what happened. Those people should absolutely be held accountable. And unfortunately, I don't think that the D.C. loyalists are going to prosecute the D.C. loyalists.
Right. All right. That's a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Okay, you guys, we ran into Jaden Scott here, and Jaden, you were out in Dearborn in November. We were out there too. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, what exactly would you like to know?
What do you think about what's going on with the Islamification of they're trying to take over the whole United States, actually?
Yeah, I think right now there's a very deep operation being ran right now with the Muslim community and the far right, the dissident right. They've weaponized the Palestine conflict and the rising anti-Zionism movement, and they've co-opted a lot of the far-right influencers to be very pro-Muslim. America, you can be anti-Zionist and anti-Islamification. Right now, there is a notion that you have to take, there's cyanide in one hand and there's poison in the other, and you have to take one. We don't have to take either, America. It's okay to just be American and just be a Christian. And so the Islamification right now is being highlighted and really pushed by the dissident far right, kind of misled due to the anti-Zionism movement.
Yeah, and personally, I'm a Zionist. I support Israel, the United States of America first, but I'm MAGA. And what's your thoughts on what do you think we should do? Like, what should we do to get control of this besides get the word out and make people get off their rear ends and get active?
Yeah, it's a multifaceted problem. With education, we have to start educating people that it is even a problem. Other than education, we need to start organizing. Proportionately, the Christian community and the Christian American community is much more with numbers. The problem is right now, guys, we're being out-organized. We need to organize better. We need to highlight the problem, and we need to unify through delegate races, through your nonpartisan offices, through your local offices, and really start to take back our country at the local level.
Oh yeah, General Flynn always says that. Get active at the local level. Yep. Anything else, Denise?
Yeah, right now, so Dearborn is what we call a colony. These people are here. They're not here to assimilate. I'm not saying that is part of the Islamic doctrine. America is a Christian country, whether you'd like to admit that or not. In 1606, we had the Mayflower Compact. That was the covenant that the original pilgrims made with God because they actually came a little bit more south than they were supposed to, and so they didn't have a king's covenant. So our country was actually signed and founded with the Mayflower Compact originally, that we have very, very Christian roots. A lot of people mention the Treaty of Tripoli as the 1797 Treaty of Tripoli as some sort of fact that we are not a Christian nation. That, however, was not a treaty for more than 3 years because the Muslim men that we signed that contract with actually betrayed us. Go figure. In 1797, that contract was signed. It was out of the 17 contracts, the barbarian contracts, that gentleman went, the diplomat. That he was a deist, but he was a diplomat trained by Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin. When he went out there, he had signed over 15 different contracts. That is the only one in Article 11 that states that we are not a Christian nation, and that was made purely because that Islamic leader was known for chopping up negotiators and sending them back. In the treaty that followed 8 years later in 1805, we did not mention that we were not a Muslim country. It was not meant to be an internal declaration or external declaration. It was really meant to assure the Muslim community that we were not coming into the Mediterranean Sea to crusade. So to go back to the Dearborn issue, up until the 1960s, Muslims were not allowed to run for office. That is not because we're against Muslims as a people. It's because their ideology is not simply that of a religion. It is also a political doctrine. With the Ruma is the National Islamic State. They are loyal to the Islamic State and the Islamic Caliphate. They're not here to be Americans. They're here to promote the Islamic State. What we speak about with Sharia law is the political wing of Islam. They're not here to assimilate. They're not here to enjoy on the American liberties and to go to baseball games. They're here to conquer. They're here to dominate. They're creating a colony in Dearborn so that they can disproportionately spread their influence, and then they will go from there. They're importing people in with these H-1B visas into Dearborn. They're overstaying their visits. They're outbreeding us. That is true. They're having, I mean, it's a funny way to say it, breeding, but it is true. They're having proportionately 6 to our 2. The Christian community, we do have a lot of converts. We're very great with evangelism and really getting the word out. But Christ did not call us to be to create a nation of converts. He called us to make a nation of disciples. So we need to focus more on discipling to our Christians and building up larger families, and that is how we combat this. They have a nationalist sentiment. That is why they're so strong. That is why Dearborn is so organized. We need to have that nationalist sentiment across America, and we need to stick together.
Right on.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate.
This is Dr. Judy coming from Clay Clark in Detroit. Watch Grands for God. Watch Denise and Anne-Marie and Denise on Grands for God. Watch them all the time. They know how grandmas need to take care of your kids.